Spotify Unwrapped has released, and it's not a surprise that my top genre is K-pop. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now for today's video, I'm going to be discussing some of the books that are set in the K-pop industry that I would personally recommend, or books that I want to read and that are specifically on my TBR. And I'll also be lightly talking about some Spotify Unwrapped findings that I found in my personal Unwrapped. Now just a quick preface, I didn't really care about Spotify Unwrapped until maybe this year because I never had a Spotify premium account until the start of the pandemic, and then I was like, I have to listen to music without ads. I cannot be stuck in these four walls with Spotify telling me about how awesome Spotify Premium is with their 10-second ads between every single song. So without further ado, the first book that I want to talk about is actually the book that inspired me to make this video. So this book is called Idol Gossip and is by Alexandra, Leigh, and this book actually came out in September 2021 of this year. And I was actually approached by the author through my Instagram DM. So she realized that I really like K-pop, I guess through the videos that I post on my booktube channel, as well as just through descriptions that I write on my Instagram captions about K-pop and also K-pop books in general. So she offered to send me a little nice package with her book. So she also sent me this really beautiful keychain, and it's just stunning, and it's definitely something that I'm going to use so that I can keep track of where my keys are because I always lose my keys. But anyways, if you guys are interested in Idol Gossip, this one is about our homegirl. Our girl. She loves singing, right? And basically she loves music as well, but her life is uplifted when her parents decide that she needs to move back to Korea. So she loses all her friends back at home in America and she has to travel all the way to Seoul. It's there where her only musical outlet, or her only outlet that she has, is through karaoke bars in Korea. So if you guys don't know, karaoke is a very big thing in Asia, and you could basically pay for a room and you could sing to your heart's content for like the allotted time that you paid for. So she likes to spend a lot of time after school with her friends singing in this karaoke bar, and it's there where a top agent scouts her and asks her if she wants to join one of the really big agencies in Korea that is known for pumping out all these idols and pumping out all these like really great groups. So if you guys are also unfamiliar with like K-pop idols and trainees, basically what happens majority of the time, I feel like that the idols are found through auditions, like public auditions where you actually have to sign up and then you do your tryout and then you become an idol. Or you have a really great looking face and you have a great talent and someone actually picks you out from like literally on the street, hands you a business card and tells you to go tell your parents about them so that they can consider starting a new career as an idol. So I'm really excited to read this book, mostly because I love K-pop books, and I just find that this one's going to be a very heartbreaking novel too as well, because the back also said it's about anyone who is trying to take their talents to the next level and getting over that self-doubt, as well as trying to fit in as well. So I know I'm going to cry. So I think the next recommendation that I'm going to have to give you guys is one that a lot of people have talked about already, I feel like on BookTube, and I'm sure I've talked about it in my videos too last year, but this one's called I'll Be the One by Leigh, and this one involves a heroine who is actually bisexual, I believe, and she is a little bit curvier than the rest of the girls. She has to deal with a lot of like self-esteem issues because in Asia, majority of the girls are very thinly built and is slender. So she feels very self-conscious of her body sometimes, but she is also very proud of her body. She's very body positive and she loves to dance. So she actually goes ahead and auditions for one of these companies that are doing global wide scouts for new trainees. And she actually makes the cut. Like she goes through like these series of competitions with like all these like nasty catty girls, but she's only doing it because she just wants to dance and she wants to perform. And it's also there where she learns about accepting herself and also making sure that her parents are on board too, because obviously her parents don't want her to sacrifice her whole life for this weird dream of becoming a dancer and a singer. And then also the fact that she has a very difficult relationship with her mom. Her mom doesn't like how she looks and often criticizes her. And whenever your loved one criticizes you for your looks, it definitely hurts more than it does. I absolutely love this one. It was really fun. And obviously the romance was really cute cute as well. I think the next book that I want to talk about is one written by a ex K-pop idol herself. I feel like she's still a K-pop idol because she still sings. I think maybe if the timing is right, she will come out with a K-pop album soon. I'm sure she has the means to do it. But right now she is happily, making her clothing line. And this girl is known as Jessica Jung. She is an ex K-pop member of the famous girl group called Girls' Generation, and she actually wrote a teen novel called Shine. And there's actually 2 books because this book actually ends on kind of a cliffhanger, but there's Shine number 2, which I think is going to be coming out next year sometime soon. But this one involves our heroine, who is Korean American. She flies back to Seoul to become a trainee, and she has to go fight in this competition with other trainees to land her a spot in this girl group that the company is going to form. But obviously the girls see each other as competition, and things get a little bit hazy and things get a little bit messy. And it gets really heartbreaking at times too, because there are a lot of instances that happen to our main female heroine that I think might have happened to our author, and that's why she's putting it in the book so that it could be more realistic. And I think that just hurts me so much when I read these like dark scenes where our heroine gets herself in these like weird, messy, sticky situations that other trainees kind of caused. Like, she went through a lot of hazing and it was just difficult. The romance was also super cute. She has this forbidden love romance with a boy, and you're not supposed to date as a trainee, especially in the same agency, because things get messy and you need a very clean, squeaky image before you debut. So obviously there is a lot of angsty scenes as well. I think the next book that I want to recommend you is this one that I can't stop speaking highly of. This one is called Kpop Confidential by Stephen Leigh, and this is actually book number 1. I'm very excited for book number 2. I think it's coming out next year, and I would die for an arc of it because this one definitely brought me to tears. Like, I was just crying so much. I love a solid daughter-mother relationship, and this is exactly what we get. Our heroine is working so hard in school back in America. She really wants to make her parents proud. She wants to get the grades to go to college and things like that. But she also can't deny the fact that she loves music and she loves to sing. So her friend jokingly records her, uploads her on like YouTube, and she blows up because her cover is just so good. And then an entertainment company in Korea actually emails her and tells her like, hey, if you want to try out to become, a member in our next girl group, you should do it and you should tell your parents. At first she thinks it's like a fraud thing, right? It doesn't sound real, but then she actually gets in contact with the people at the company and she realizes that it's true and that her dreams could come true. So it's there where she leaves to Korea to follow this dream with her mom, because her mom does not trust her flying to Korea by herself. And so they kind of like build their relationship there, as well as her learning to deal with all these different personalities in the dorm room. And it was just so heartbreaking at times because there's a lot of vulnerability between our daughter and our mother. And I loved it so much. So definitely check this one out too as well. Another one that I read this year is this one called Xoxo by Axie O. And this one's a really fun one. This one involves our hero and heroine. They meet like randomly one day in America, and they have this one day of adventure where it breaks the rules. She lets down her hair, she goes, has fun with this mysterious good looking guy, and they go have like all these like random adventures in a short span of a day. But obviously that has to come to an end. Like, every day has to come to an end. She has to fly back to Korea because her grandma in Korea is not doing well, and her mom is going back to go see her mom, and then she herself wants to go back to Korea to check things out. And she also, I believe, is going to school there as well, so she's not going to miss much. She's just going to have a kind of like an exchange trip too as well. It's there where her heart kind of breaks because she had this really special connection with this guy, but suddenly it's over and everything comes to an end. Or so she thinks, because once she goes to Korea, she realizes that the boy is actually living near her and that he is actually an idol, or he's a trainee in this boy group. And basically it kind of reminds me of like maybe like a BTS fan fiction, if you guys are fans of that, like living next door to the idol. But I liked it. It was really fun. I liked how the first part of the book was kind of like a Just One Day by Gail Forman situation, and then the rest of the book was them trying to piece everything together and make it work. So I think that is it for all the K-pop books that I have read and that I would definitely recommend you. I have a lot more books that are on my list, but honestly, I'm kind of picky when it comes to books like this. So I'm really excited to pick up this one by Alexandra Leigh Young because it just sounds so good and the cover is beautiful and gorgeous. I can't wait to dive into this really fun world of being back on stage. I love music and I love listening to it, obviously. It's like one of the things that I grew up with and I was like such a freaking hipster. Like anytime I listen to an indie rock band, I would like think that nobody else was listening to them and I was being this quirky new girl and a very pick-me girl situation. So it's really funny. But now obviously I've matured, I've grown. I know that lots of people have the same music tastes as me and it means nothing. Like your music taste means nothing. It doesn't mean that you're a better or a poor person. And I just love finding new songs to listen to when I work. So if you guys have Spotify Premium or if you guys just have a Spotify account and you have a Spotify Unwrapped, let me know in the comments down below who your top artists are. If you guys are a fan of K-pop, let me know what your top songs are so I could like listen to them. But like also I think I've done a pretty good job at keeping up with all my newly released title tracks, but it's just like the B tracks from the artists that I miss out sometimes. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know there is a handful of you that watch me that love K-pop, so this is just really for you and it's also for me for self-indulgence, and hopefully you guys can pick up idol gossip sometime soon because I will. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.